Digital newsletters really humanise you to your readers. By Jill Martin Wren. Author Elle Griffin says she would definitely turn down a book deal if she was ever offered one. I'd never accept one. Traditional book publishing is full of bad math and even worse marketing, says the 37-year-old writer of Gothic novels. Last year, instead of releasing her first book called Obscurity as physical copies in high street bookstores or as a Kindle version to download, she started to self-publish chapters as email instalments. Using online publishing platform Substack, the new chapters were emailed out every week or two to Ms. Griffin's subscribers. She already had more than 3,000 non-paying followers before she started to release the book, as she had for a number of years been writing articles on numerous topics. But by the end of the first 12 months of her novel's serialization, her subscriber numbers had more than doubled, thanks to recommendations from readers and other Substack account holders. Based in Salt Lake City, Utah, Miss Griffin now has 6,843 subscribers, and crucially, 301 paying ones. They're charged from $10, £8.60 a month, or $50 per annum, and Ms. Griffin says in the first year she earned nearly $18,000. With many of us spending more time online than ever before, writing coach Nancy Erickson says it makes sense for novelists, like Miss Griffin, to focus on offering readers direct digital access to their work. What you really want to do is meet your audience wherever they're already engaged, says Ms. Erickson, who is based in St. Louis, Missouri. She adds that digital engagement helps authors build their brands, as well as finding other revenue-generating activities. Jane Osler is Executive Vice President of global thought leadership and brand consulting company Kantar. She sees online serialization as an effective form of digital marketing, a way for new writers to get themselves better known. I think there is a lot of potential here for a new writer, she says. While prolific Nottingham-based author Christina Adams hasn't serialised any of her 16 self-published novels and 3 non-fiction titles, she has been sending free weekly digital newsletters about literature and life to subscribers since 2014. This was 2 years before the now 32-year-old released her first book. She continues to send these emails out to more than 2,500 people via a service called MailerLite. They include stories about things referenced in her books, talks about her dog Millie, and promotion of upcoming releases. Digital newsletters in particular, I think more than social media, really humanise you to your readers, says Ms. Adams, who writes romance titles under her full name and ghost stories as KC Adams. It gives you a much closer connection. And sending out the newsletters really makes a difference to sales. Every time I sent one out, I get an upturn in sales. You can think that you're sending out far too many, but in most cases only about a fifth of people will open each email. So while you think you're shouting and demanding attention, most subscribers wouldn't see it that way. Back in Salt Lake City, Miss Griffin is now serialising her second novel. She says she was inspired to release her book in instalments by 19th century French writer Alexandre Dumas. Like her, he wrote Gothic fiction, and his well-known novel The Count of Monte Cristo was serialised in a Parisian weekly newspaper in the 1840s. As is the norm for Substack, people can read the chapters of Miss Griffin's novels for free via her page on the app and website. However, paying subscribers get extra benefits, such as the ability to read Ms. Griffin's commentaries, post their own thoughts, chat with other subscribers, and even write and publish their own essays. Miss Griffin says all this feedback is very helpful. Recently, 2 readers mentioned that they wish my chapters were longer, so I started making them longer, she says. I love being able to respond in real time. Miss Griffin adds that she had researched self-publishing her books in digital form via Amazon, but that her subscription model is far more lucrative. She explains the maths. Say I sold 1,000 books on Amazon, then I'd make $1,000, maybe more, maybe $5,000. But if I, instead of just selling it, adopted a subscription model and charged readers $8 or $9 a month, then from the same 1,000 fans, I could presumably make $100,000 in salary. She adds that with a traditional book deal, she'd be even worse off financially, as she'd likely only get a royalty rate of around 15% of revenues. In addition to the subscription payments, Ms. Griffin's followers can pay to buy and download the digital artwork that she designs for each chapter. I think the beauty of it, serialization, is you can start grassroots and start from the bottom, she says. I'm not Stephen King. I'm just barely getting started.